Welcome to Lincoln, Nebraska, and it plays some of the games immortals have called home. Johnny the Jet, Frazier, Crouch, Rozier, and many, many more have built this big red legacy as this crowd is ready to cheer on their beloved Cornhuskers. We're really looking forward to this matchup. You've got a team that's made its way into the top 25, now trying to pass an all-important road test. As we'll see the number 19 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers. Clemson will boot it away to get this one started. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Cornhuskers offense takes the field for the first time today. And as the game evolves into an aerial circus, sometimes you find a superstar running back like this guy.
And when you got this guy, you ride this guy. You give him the ball, you run the football, you find ways to continue to feed him because he just gets stronger and better as the game goes on.
One of the offshoots of expansion, particularly in the Big Ten, was how viable could the ACC remain, and it just sort of ramps up the stakes when they meet on the field.
Yeah, I think all of this conference realignment, all the money talk, the loss of rivalries, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And let's be honest, the SEC and the Big Ten are the big two gorillas, right? Anytime you can make a statement and dent these two big powerhouse conferences, go do it.
I think the ACC, too, is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Back in conference realignment, it was the best 4 programs from the Pac-12, but all chose the Big Ten and not the ACC, so this one will be interesting.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Grab near the sticks. It's Hall. They'll mark him down at the 40 after ripping off 10.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes. He's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
They'll throw it on first down. Quick completion on the out route. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all offseason long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Short completion last play. Let's see if they throw it again. Red pass, it's complete. Still running at the 40. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. Just got to get him to the ground quickly.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
Running back searching for a hole. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Listen, I know that's not a huge game, but those run plays add up. They make you tackle the back every single play. Physically, you have to get some guy on the ground. It takes its toll throughout a fourth quarter game.
In the gun, looking to throw on third down. Gets it out fast. Tackle is made after the first down. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Relying on that running game inside the red zone, he picked up 3 to the 11. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. To the ground with the back. He is going nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal.
This offense has really gotten to a nice rhythm here on their opening drive of the game. Running the ball, getting it down now into a goal-to-go situation. They really have established a bit of a physicality here early. Let's see if they can keep that up.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to...
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Husker!
And that's why this offense is so hard to stop, guys. This quarterback can hurt you throwing it and running it. With his speed, he can make people look silly. And you saw it right there on the opening drive in the game. What a beautiful touchdown run.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So Clemson's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And they seem to believe that they can take big plays away and man coverage by just locking him up in this matchup, David.
Yeah, and it's hard to lock down a great wide receiver, but a great defensive back versus a great wide receiver, we got a showdown.
Yeah, let's be honest, David. Most defenses don't have a dude like that at cornerback that could do that in a game like this, but this matchup is unique, and it's going to really determine the outcome of the game.
Unloads to the right. And he's looking to the sideline. It's incomplete. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? But if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all offseason, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Oh, the pirouette, he's got room. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
But it was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterbacks...
And the pass hits, picked off. Looking for more room. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it, and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time, he used the lob wedge, and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense early.
Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. On the move. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
Really nice run there. This guy's so exciting to watch when he's out in the open field. Kind of reminds me of old Clemson greats like C.J. Spiller and Travis Etienne. When they got into the second level, you just held your breath because you thought there was a chance they could break it off for a touchdown. This guy has that same dynamic playmaking ability.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
He'll take a shot. To the end zone, and it's picked off. Not only a great play, but tremendous discipline by this sophomore to make the pick.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make the play. You've got to put the ball on his body. That throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football, and you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
That was a really nice catch and an even better run after the grab.
Yeah, and get the ball to your playmaker. What's good about having him in the slot is he can go either direction. You can get him matched up on somebody that's not as fast, and you watch, he can run away from those linebackers or safeties.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
Shoots it to the left. That is just a sideline clinic. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
They'll try the run. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down.
Well, when you talk Nebraska football, it always comes down to their ability running it on offense. Whether it's the option or whether it's conventional, they've got a long and illustrious history of great running backs, and this guy is on the field for a reason. His vision, his ability to make people miss, run with toughness, he can do it all.
This drive was clicking along, but now it's 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it. And they'll get him down after a solid return. And they'll get off one more play before the end of the quarter. Wants to throw. It's Hurley. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. They've swapped into the field, and we're ready to go in the second. First down to start the drive after the break. Toss sweep to the right. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And you don't always see tosses into the boundary. Most people want to go to the wide side of the field. Defense was ready. Not as much space when you go wide out there, but more importantly, the defense doing a great job winning, setting the edge, running to the football, shutting the toss down.
Inside the 25. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Getting some heat. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
Well, that's not Lamar Jackson back there scrambling around. This is a guy the defense felt like if we can get him out of the pocket and flush him, we can get after him and chase and bring him down. And they did that one pretty easy there, getting the sack.
A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. They'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And that will extend their lead even further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Colorado went scorched earth in a double-digit win that might have been worse had they not sat the starters there in that fourth quarter. Total destruction by the Buffs in a statement win if there ever was one. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Back to pass, it's Hurley. He's got his man. And the ball's on the ground. Oh, looks like the offense was able to recover it. Clemson is quick to the line. They'll run the option. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Looks it all the way in and now turns his attention upfield. They make the stop, but there is a penalty marker down. Let's see what the call is.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So the offense keeps this drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. Looking to go up top on first down. Now he's going to break the pocket. He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
They'll snap it from the gun on third down. Throws to the wideout. He's got it. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
Well, they wanted this guy catching the ball on the right side of the field. They could have just lined him up over there, but they didn't that time. He started off on the left side. He crossed the defense and made the catch on the right side of the field.
Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
And a nice job by the running back finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Off the bootleg to buy a little space. Quick strike complete. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
And this is what's so great about play action. The run fake sucks those linebackers up, and it just creates so much more space for these receivers to operate. Beautiful execution by the offense.
1st and goal, and this feels like their chance to give them a finish. They'll try to get it in with the run. Dragged down at the 6 after a pickup of 2.
Pickup of 2. It's now 2nd and goal.
Second and goal coming up. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. Relentless, tough running, gets it down to the 4.
This has been really good for the defense, too. It's kind of a bend-don't-break mentality, right? Really bowing up with your backs against the wall. If you can win this next 3rd down, try to force the opponent into a field goal. That's a win if you're on defense.
You can't hear yourself think on 3rd and goal. Trying play action. Lets it go to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Clemson.
And what a nice play call and nice execution. Play action, you're thinking run. Quarterback pulls it out, throws the football right behind those guys, and gets the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a nice job there by the quarterback, too, on the ball handling. He just froze the defense just long enough to help those wide receivers and targets get some separation in the end zone, and at that point, it was just an easy pitch and catch.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, the lead is cut to 3. It's 10-7. An impressive 66-yard touchdown drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team on the field as they'll send this one away. He'll bring it out. It's Clark. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but they've got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And it's incomplete, going for the massive, explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. Trying to pick up a first down. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Working that left side now. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. And the Huskers want to move quickly. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously, the politically correct answer. But you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Now on second down. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down. The new popular phrase for a favored team not really coming out of the gates quickly is that they're playing with their food. There are a lot of peas being pushed around the plate right now, guys.
Yeah, Reese, they've been stumbling around. They've been making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot in this game. But, David, I think you also have to give credit.
And they got him for the sack.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game. But finally now, you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
You got to love the aggressive nature this defense is playing with right now, and you're seeing the athletes and the dudes they've got up front. A sack on the last play. They hit the quarterback on this last one. Now third down, you know they're going to be pinning their ears back.
Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30. The Huskers getting set on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Grabbed in the middle. It's Smith. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down. They'll immediately call timeout. So much for jumbo sets. They'll go 5 wide on 2nd and 2. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. He's going to run it. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
When you have scrambling quarterbacks, you got to have a spot. You got to have somebody in the middle of the field. Everybody's playing coverage, but that guy's job is to focus on the quarterback and make sure he doesn't scramble.
Fires into traffic, intercepted. The 50. He's inside the 40. Past the 20. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Tigers. What about the speed from that defender on the return?
He's showing you, Reese, like, listen, it's not just wide receivers that can do that. I can take this thing to the house. I got some moves. Watch this. Unbelievable job flipping the field. Offense about to score. Defense makes the huge plays and gets points out of it.
Fair catch, called for and made. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
He's going for a big play downfield. And it falls incomplete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
Offensive players know where the ball is going. Defensive players don't. Great job by the DB adjusting to the football, seeing it, playing the wide receiver, and making sure he can't catch the football.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Gets rid of it. They're working that left side. Brought down at the 32-yard line. Picks up 15 yards on the play and an important first down.
Good enough for a first down.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They'd love nothing better than to add a 3-ball here before the break. And very important not only to generate power, but to find his mark, a 49-yard try from the left. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. And they'll trot off to the locker room after the field goal to close the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, time for everyone to take a deep breath and digest what we just saw in Lincoln. And it'd be easy to say these two offenses are glad we've hit halftime based on their respective performances. It would also be accurate. Turnovers and sacks have told the story so far. And you gotta believe the play calling has been the issue, right? Time to shred those game plans and just get back to basics. And with that, back to the Sea of Red and our guys at Memorial Stadium.
The Cornhuskers will kick it away first and we'll start the second half. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. As they get ready to start this 3rd quarter, think how big the lead might be if they'd taken care of the ball.
Well, the game might be over, Reese, but if you're on defense right now, you've gotten a couple turnovers early, and you're saying, okay, we're going to need to keep this up. We got to stay aggressive for us to have a chance to win this game, but we believe we can do it.
Yeah, you've already done it, so of course you're going to believe it. Keep playing fast, keep playing physical, and then tell your offense, hey, we need a little help over here. Can you help us out and put some points on the board?
Lost 5 on that first play, and now it's 2nd and 15. To the air, it's Hurley. He tries to take the top off. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
You don't get a lot of chances like that in games, guys. Take shots downfield, but when you get open, you got to finish the play. The wideout's going to wish he had that one back.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And the ball is intercepted. Not much of a chance on the return, but they'll have the ball at the 33.
We've just seen in this game the ball has just gotten away from him a little bit. A couple of times, just hasn't been able to put it where he wants to. And as a result, that's now his 2nd pick thrown in this game.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Man, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
Just on the edge of the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 21. He leaves it with the back. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
quick touch pass to the receiver. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, David. It puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Try to get it on the ground. And the Huskers have enough for the first down.
Hey, 4th and short, it's time to be physical. You give it to your running back. You can see he gets physical, gets downhill, gets the first down.
Went to the running game to convert that 4th down. They might go right back to it here. Quarterback keeps it. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Still on his feet. And he's sprinting. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Cornhuskers!
And the offense continues to run the football. The 2nd rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes. Continue to feed this man the ball.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Louisiana Tech was far from the friendly confines of Ruston, but still managed to scratch out a win. And there was a lot of chatter this week about this group not being ready. Time to check those receipts, if you know what I mean. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw, it's Hurley. Fires to the tight end. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
He'll do it himself. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice game.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he gets a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting the first down.
And this junior loves to show off that big arm.
Love the accurate throw by the quarterback there. Curl route against man coverage. You got to put that right into the body of the wide receiver who's running back towards you. Nice job executing it, and they pick up the first.
Shakes off the tackle. Nice run there. Picks up a few, and they'll force him out of bounds.
Yeah, and after the QB calls his own number and all these options, obviously multiple plays, he decides to stick with it, get some positive yards, and now what's next off of that? What's my next read off of that? How am I going to mix things up and keep this defense off balance?
Offense gets set for 2nd down. Off play action. Flips it out in the flat. He's right there to stop him, but the quick throw and catch enough to give them the first down. And the Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Trying to find his man on first down. He makes the grab. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of him.
I love this linebacker because he's able to dissect what's happening in front of him, and he reacts downhill, uses his speed to get to the line of scrimmage and create the negative play.
Coming after him. Oh, he needs to get rid of it. He needs to do something, and he will go down. What a terrible, terrible play and a big loss. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He'll call for the fair catch here. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you...
And the pressure was all over him in the blink of an eye. If you plan to deal with the Tigers, you better be able to handle their defensive front. They have a whole legacy of this dating back to the fridge, William Perry.
Big old legacy, and it seems like every year they rotate so many guys that are so highly recruited, so good. Just great players. They're always big and strong and fast and physical, and they get after your quarterback.
The Huskers will bring the punt team onto the field. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. Signals for the fair catch and looks it in at the 40. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there. Clemson will send the punt team out. Wants to bring it back. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Less than a yard to go to pick up the first down. On 2nd down, wants to throw it. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. Touchdown, Tigers. What a great play by the defense and paying it off with the interception return. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, and he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job of making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
Using the quick game. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Wants to throw on 1st down. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Working the middle, it's complete. There to make the stop, and we've played 3 in this one. Big catches, big plays, tons of yards through 3 quarters for these two guys. one more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. And here comes the offense on second down. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. He swings it out to the flat. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. To the air, it's Hurley. Pocket starts to collapse. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with the sack. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Takes it on the return. Couldn't get away from that cover team. And 23. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win, and David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. The Cornhuskers have it with a 1st and 10. Handoff from the gun. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
This offensive line better figure out a plan for this D tackle. He is tough to block with one guy. You might want to start double teaming him. He's going to be a problem moving forward. You saw all of his ability on that last play.
Looking to pass on 2nd down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hall. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
A quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the 1st down.
On 3rd down, going up top. Got his man downfield. And he's out of bounds, but not before a good, sizable pickup, and that has been a rare sight in this one. And the Huskers have this offense rolling. He's right on target. He was running through tackles and picked up the 1st down and finally got knocked down.
This offense is just so dynamic because they've got playmakers at all the skill positions, right? We just saw a big play in the running game. Now we see one in the passing game. There's not one dude that you can key on here if you're on defense to try and slow them down.
Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carries.
When the offense gets in those multiple tight end looks, you kind of have a good understanding of what's coming. You don't know where the ball's going necessarily, but they'll put those big old bodies in there to block, to move people, to put more mass on the field, especially once you get in this red area where you have to be able to run the football effectively. Those passing windows tend to shrink a lot.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. It is good. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Troy overcame a tough opponent, and not only that, a raucous crowd. The Trojans tuned out all the noise and showed this team can win on its field, your field, or a neutral field. well done. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. They'll probably bleed every second possible off this clock before they snap it. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
A strike downfield. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27. Clemson jumps to the line.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Caught in the backfield, it's Graves. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. He wants to throw here on second down. Finds a man in the middle. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Tigers. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their fourth straight win. And the extra point is up and good, and they have an 11-point fourth-quarter lead.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little...
He lobs one high down the left side. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on first down. Second down coming up. This quarterback desperately wants to make a chunk play, but they're going to be deepest to deepest, widest to widest. He's got to be patient.
No doubt. Situational football is probably one of the most underrated, untalked about things, like understanding the situation. I have the lead. They have to take shots down the field. I'm going to play pass. I got to rush the passer. I got to keep him in the pocket. All those things come into play throughout this game.
Now on 3rd and 10, if they can move the chains here, maybe they can get this drive started. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback.
Looking for a deep man. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Got some room headed to the goal line. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. With that, the lead nice and comfortable, and they're cruising toward a 4-0 start.
And with that TD, this team looking to go 4-0. Just how you want to start a season, man. They've done an unbelievable job answering all the questions, starting off the year just how you want to. Now, keep it going. Keep that momentum. Don't relax. What a start to the season.
The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Not a lot of hope here, down 3 possessions late.
No, and I love this part as a pass rusher because I'm just pinning my ears back, getting to the quarterback. I know it's a pass every single time. Palmer, I'm trying to pad my stats. I'm sure you're just trying to stay up there.
Well, we're definitely just trying to stay alive at this point, but you're also trying to build confidence, too, for your next opponent. If you can find some completions late in the game, even though it looks like you're going to lose it, It's all about building on the good things you do this week so that you're out executing at a higher level the next time.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Kept it on the ground last time, bringing up a second down. Buys a little time. He'll try to do it himself. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
QB's got to be able to play on so many different levels. They got to read coverages, know the snap count, know what everybody's doing, and then does a great job at the end making something out of nothing, making a positive play, picking up a new set of downs, a new set of problems for this defense.
And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. Motion from the offense. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver.
And just went with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward, let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job, nice execution. First down.
The Huskers have it with a 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another hit on the quarterback. All day long, this defense has been able to pin their ears back and get after this guy, and because of that, he's never gotten into a rhythm throwing the football, and that's why they find themselves trailing here late in the 4th quarter.
They're trying to get to, and he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. They'll give it to the back. Smashes him with the stiff arm. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. And that is interception number 3 on the day. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that's just excellent cover. Man, cover 1, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board. You still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open. And if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it.
And down he goes back at the 3.
I tell you what, if I'm this QB, I am ill as a hornet in my offensive line. Are you kidding me? That's the 6th time they put me on the ground. Dudes, will y'all protect me a little bit better, please?
You know, it's one thing to take shots early in the game when the defense may not be expecting it, but at this point, 4th quarter, you're trailing by a lot. They know you're going to do it, and the defense was expecting that one. Great job in the back end.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. He's looking downfield to throw. He's taking the deep shot. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
Well, trailing this much in the 4th quarter, the offense is looking for an explosive play to try to ignite them and get them back in this one, but nothing doing. Nice job in coverage.
Let's see what they dial up on this 4th down. Remember, they're 1 for 2 so far in this one. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 4th down, going to the air. Here's a throw downfield late. And it's incomplete, and this defense makes a 4th down stop.
And I get it. At this point in the 2nd half, dude, we got to make something happen. We haven't been good enough. We got to score a lot of points, and quickly. You've got to be aggressive. They tried. They failed again. This game is all but over.
3 consecutive L's, a hat trick of losses, and as a result, you can take their hat out of the ring for most of their goals.
Yep, most of their goals are done. And listen, I don't know what they do really well. This is bad. 3 losses in a row. It's not good. They got to figure something out, but it's a long season still. There's still a lot of room to find some positive, Jesse. Maybe throughout the way, there's going to be something happens that's positive.
So you're saying there's a chance. I like it. Always positive. Glass half full, Dave. But listen, I don't think they can fix everything in one week. I think